mid tower is going to be like extremely important. But it's not. I mean, there's no Roshan there anymore, so that's on the side lanes, and all the fighting's on the side. And, you know, there's heroes on the side lanes. That's what matters, the killing of the heroes. So that has seemed to be, at least on the first few days, what the read is. But yeah, you need to be active. You need to find some stuff happen. D-Stones, Ember, I believe in it, though. I think iG.V should take this game, in my opinion. I think it's going to be kind of difficult. You know, this Scarly timing on the TV is just going to be absolutely insane. But then again, Tyler, it's also still a very good Pango game, and we saw what he did last time, so let's hope they have some ideas. Ooh. Why very early? That's a Gucci. Prepared for the worst, I see. Yeah, they don't make the jump though, which is kind of crazy. Holding this high ground instead, looking to fight over the bounty.
And you're still hanging around here just a little bit. Probably don't want the fight, just really want the rune. Because you do have that. Yeah, you've got that passive Grievous Greed, so you do want to get as much as you can early on.
DQQ, going to be the target. They set up for the bounty rune bait, and it looks like it's going to pay off here. The shards are in as well to secure this kill, and it's Big Can. He's going to take first blood on the TB. Immediately use it to buy a Wraith Band as well, so he's going to have a great start to this lane.
He's going to be feeling good in that lane. And you are starting with, I don't know, YYY is just going to walk to the teleporter, of course, and just work his way back up. One really nice advantage of these teleporters, just get an early kill, go back to your lanes, you're fine. You don't need to waste a TP anymore.
Yep. Manhound's not going to follow him. I thought he might have done, tried to do some cheeky stuff over on the other side of the map, but he's going to stick around. So still a chance for them to go aggressive here, and yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to look towards Tax. The hero's coming in, but the Dazzle's here. They're doing the same thing on iG.V. They're matching their aggression. They might actually get themselves a kill onto Wenhao for it. They certainly will. Nicely done from iG.V, predicting that the Tusk is going to stick around and answering that with their Dazzle.
Yeah. And you love to run into all these heroes here when you have the Dazzle, right? You feel good with the Shadow Wave to sustain through, the damage feels good. You have two ranged heroes just running down a Tusk as well. And they'll still opt to kind of maintain the tri-lane for a little bit more. Teleport down, Wenhao should just leave now, probably just ferrying some items out, and we'll start to work his way top where Ukyo is given a pretty free lane. Like, he's not going to be shoved away solo by the Weaver. So you've already got a stable foundation to set yourselves up on here. For the side of iG.V down bot, I think their main issue is still the eventual level 2, level 3 rise for the TV.
Ooh,
I'm a bit surprised they don't run Tusk and Terrorblade though.
Tusk TB, I mean, Tusk Weave is such a potent combination. Yeah, they're both very good options for Wenhao.
Yeah. I guess you have less play with Weaver Mirana, just because you don't even have a slow to set up for some arrows to try to be offensive if you see that opportunity. At least with the TB, with Reflection up, you can sort of line up some shots.
Oh, moving forward onto Bocce, but Bocce's actually looking towards Tax here, and the arrow is going to connect. Big mistakes there from Tax as he chooses to try and turn around, and yeah, just gives Bocce a free arrow. Very nicely done from the Mirana, though. Good read.
Yeah. Good reads, good angles, and kind of balances that lane a little bit, gives you a lot of value from your first Metamorphosis here for Big Can. Sets up the lane nicely. A pretty good lane once more for Big Can. We did see Taxus get off to this kind of start last time around as well. And so we'll see if he can kind of find tempo. Up top, Ukyo is starting to cop a lot of harassment out.
Yeah, this is the Weaver effect, right? You get to get to level 3 and you can really start to lay down some punishment with the Swarm. One thing to mention, though, is that the Monkey King's range is very comparable to Weaver's, but now he's stuck inside. The heals won't be nearly enough. They're going to be able to just run him down, and this is the combo we were looking at here. Tag team plus Weaver, way too much damage to fight into.
That's way too much output. And you had two shared tangos here as well on Ukyo, so a little bit. And some resources going to waste there just a bit for the Monkey, unfortunately. Good timing coming out from LRNR, and again, they've got a good read as to what they have to do. Their lanes feel a lot stronger. It's a lot more balanced now up top as well. Their mid is a lot more even for Totoro and D-Stones as well. So your Ember should be able to have that good timing into the phase boots, into the orb of corrosion, start to rotate around the map. And again, the one shortcoming for iG.V is that they don't have the hold for the Ember. Once D-Stones does make that move out, he is more than likely just going to find these kills unpunished, just because you don't have any instant stuns. You don't have that line on hand this game. You just don't have a way of stopping the Ember reliably.
No, he's set up for a pretty decent game here. We'll see if he's able to deliver. That was our question from last game where he did get caught out a few times, but that shouldn't happen this time around. But always a threat with the Pangolier. The hero can just be so annoying. But so far, yeah, Descent is doing fine. They're just trading farm in the middle lane. I think. Yeah, I think I'd just like to see them to make sure they give Tax a harder game. Now, don't let him come back this time. They shut him down and then they let him come back into the game with a couple of goofy rotations, and now this might be trouble for Big Can here as a stun comes through onto him. But nice arrow out from Boshi once again here, just slowing Tax down. And actually, Big Can, he's going to pop the Metamorphosis and become the Big Can and try and run these heroes down, and they might just be able to do exactly that. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, they kill off Yukio. Boshi jumping under tower to get the kill onto DQQ. That was risky, but it was worth it.
Still find the kills they want. I mean, they find a counter kill. Ukio still drops as well. So, yeah, we kind of saw D-Stones do this last time as well, though. Like, he ran Totoro down. He was bullying out pretty well, but it's not enough to stop Totoro from farming. So, all things holding equal, you are finding even footing here for Totoro. But with Bocce around, you can start to play with his value point in the chains.
They fucked up the Crow. That's pretty bad, but they're going to try and go for Totoro anyway. But Totoro, he's got a full bottle to work with, whilst the D-Stones Ember has nothing. So that's kind of rough. The trade of resources definitely going to feel a little bit better for iG.V.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how it didn't look like they messed it up, but maybe it's because it came from the backpack. I'm not sure. But anyway, down at bottom, they're making the penalty attack. Now they know the sports are away. They're just going to try and rain down the Alchemist again, but not going to be able to do so. Alchemist, he's going to survive through it. It's in the mid. Ooh, the Rolling Thunder doesn't quite connect from Totoro. Trying to finish the job, but yeah, this is going to allow him to get the double damage rune, and just like that, things are going to turn around for Totoro. He's going to get this kill into Bocce now.
Yeah, you're still pretty happy with that. You force the Ember all the way home. He does have a Remnant back at the least. Does he have a Remnant now? It doesn't look like he does. So
no.
He'll have to TP back.
And all of that happened because he messed up the bottle refill. Like that's what it all comes down to. This whole kind of like minute of Totoro just making a huge turnaround to the mid lane. That's what it's about. Crazy.
Not the way you'd want that to go, but you find these openings for iG.V. You don't ask the questions. You're more than happy. And while you leave Tax alone, he is still farming decently well. It is starting to drag behind it a little bit. All the cores on iG.V. not quite getting as much as they'd want from the lanes. So it is a stronger laning start once more for LRNR. And this time, their invasion for the Wisdom Rune not going to be contested. When Hao does get himself a nice injection of EXP. No one making their way down to the Radiant side Wisdom Rune as well. So you always have that to dip back into for YYYY. Tax.
Ooh, interesting angle of engagement here, but the arrow is actually off the mark, so they won't be able to get a kill into Tax here. I like that though. They took the little bridge in the river. They moved across and they found the alternate angle. Meanwhile, up at the top lane, YYYY, just harassing two heroes by himself. No big deal.
Safe word.
He's forced to use the grave. What are you doing? There's no way this works.
No way.
That's so obnoxious though, just zoning out two heroes by himself and forcing the Monkey King to like babysit his Dazzle back to base. YYYY is doing some illegal stuff on this Weaver.
It certainly is. He's getting a lot out of his lane. Ukio, again, very slowing down his farm. Actually trying to go for the Midas here to kind of catch up. So no early presence out for him.
Arrow, Totoro, but yeah, nothing's going to happen from this. Still, I mean, look at his net worth at the moment. Looking really, really good for Lonely Rock and Roll. Complete reset from game number 1. And yeah, looking like they're ready to start evening out the series. Still a long way to go though. Still a lot of Dota to take place before that ever happens.
Yeah, but they've got their foot in the door now, right? Like you've got the strong start for all your cores. You've got some tempo coming out for D-Stones doing once you can finish up the Orb of Corrosion. They still have the Wisdom Rune in their own side as well, which again they've kind of ignored, which I'm a bit surprised because they were just instant on a snap up for YYYY on that last time around. Just let it sit and simmer for a bit. Maybe have a nice treat lined up when you have multiple spawn up. For iG.V, the key thing for them now is just this need to farm, because your supports aren't the best playmaker supports. You just don't have an easy way to set up for these plays, to set up for these stuns and try to make things happen. And that just means you play more passive. So tempo is on LRNR side.
Yeah, they do get a stun to YYYY up here at top, which might actually put him in a spot of bother. Yeah, he's forced to use a time lapse. If he sticks around here, he might actually die, but the Pango doesn't quite connect. And the arrow does actually connect onto the Dazzle. Wow, that's a big one. They should be able to bring him down. He's got the Grave, going to use it, but SJ will be going down whilst the rest of the iG.V just going to get themselves out of here. So once again, nice movements from the side of the Radiant, just using that portal to bring the players to the active lane. And now they can get themselves this tower.
They can just start to take control of that forward area. They can reach out further on this top side of the map as well. More farm, more control over the teleporter north, so you can rotate down bot. Feels just a little bit tighter now for iG.V. Again, the side lanes just feel bigger in comparison to your mid lane right now. Tax.
Yeah, they're on him. They're on him. Nice use of the teleporters to get down to bottom and find aggression on both lanes here. And that's the thing. There's not side lanes anymore, John. It's just a side lane. It's singular because they're connected.
Yeah. It's just all one. It's all one now. And the top and bot are just one lane. It feels like they have combined with the teleporters on hand. And whoever has control of whoever has a better grip on one lane has a stronger grip in the other lane as well, just by virtue of that teleporter control. Like, you can just be across the map so damn fast. And again, it just feels like your mid just isn't as important. No one wants to push mid. No one cares about mid as much. At the least, Tax still has these stacks to get back to. So his farming pace is still up there. He's #1 in net worth for his team, tied up with D-Stones and YYYY, a little bit behind to Big Can, but you are sacrificing Totoro and Ukiyo to get to that point now. Yeah. So it's the classic Alchemist issue. When you're behind, you eat up a lot of camps, you soak up a lot of space, and your cores have to make space for you, or cop attention away.
Totoro's got to be a little cautious here. He will swashbuckle away. I was worried he's going to swashbuckle aggressively onto the Weaver to try and secure the kill, and then he would have got snowballed, and then he would have died, which would have been sad. But he's smart. He backs himself away, knows when to be defensive, and when there's a snowball rolling at your face, you want to be defensive. Meanwhile, the Monkey King, he's actually going for a Midas here, which is kind of interesting. And that time-lapse was also interesting. We won't comment on that. But yeah, Midas Monkey King, do you think this is a recovery item he needs?
Yeah, like, he queued it up way earlier on. I think maybe like these 2-3 minutes earlier. And considering his laning start, it makes sense. You don't want to go for Battle Fury. It soaks up too much space away from the Alk, takes a bit too long. The Midas is a good compromise. And again, with EXP being kind of starved outside of kills, the EXP you get from Midas feels a lot more valuable. So I don't mind it as much as a recovery tool, because it does give you both sides quite well. You should be able to try to work your way back here for Ukiyo. It does mean that, again, your tempo is thrown off for iG.V. You're not able to really tie in with when Totoro wants to play. He doesn't quite have his diffusal up either, but it is still set for a decent enough timing.
Oh, no, not if this happens again. He does get killed off up in the top lane. Wenhel and Bocchi just making it happen. Barely even any input there from the Ember Spirit. In fact, I think that was just the supports. Yes, it was. Absolutely. Only damage coming from the supports to get the kill onto the Monkey King. That is a worrying sign indeed, but that's what happens when you go for this build. Now, Totoro's going to get killed off down at bottom. DQQ also in a similar situation. A mega kill now for this Weaver. He is owning this game. And yeah, major concerns for iG.V, as this one is just falling apart at the seams already. 12 minutes in, 5k gold advantage.
Yeah, they've got everything they could ask for on LRNR, and they're actually trying an early Roche with the amount of output they have on hand. They're going to be able to find it. And Big Can shows up as well with a Metamorphosis, with a tag team up. Roche, I mean, it takes longer to kill him, but he's still dropping pretty quick here.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, look how... does the Roche bit feel small to you?
Yeah, the bottom one does feel quite a fair bit small. They both feel a lot smaller than they used to be. I think they're just not as deep but for both ones.
It's kind of nice, just kind of all go cuddling with your friends.
Yeah, nice and intimate. You
Yeah.
share that moment, beating down this immortal being, taking his property.
Yeah,
Something that you remember and cherish as a group of 5.
me and the homies taking down Roshan together. That special moment. Nice arrow here onto the Pangolier. The grave is through, but is it going to be enough to save Totoro? I don't think so. He's just going to try and get a bit of last-ditch damage into this fight. Beautiful chains coming out from D-Stones, but the team's not there to follow up behind that tier 2 tower. They're showing a bit more discipline than that. But yeah, the aggression coming down on this bottom lane is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, they're just online. Like with this kind of draft, like your physical output with the Weaver and the Terrorblade, it's hard to match right now from iG.V. Again, you lack hold for the Ember, and to an extent, even this Weaver, SJ.
No way. Weaver,
Yeah.
chill, bro, chill. This is insane. The offlane Weaver just absolutely destroying people. Monkey King, he's going for the heist though. He's going for the heist and it's gonna pull off. He's managing to get the XP rune and now TP's away. The thief of the night.
And they did leave it alone for quite a fair bit. Again, EXP, very important. So it is a little bit of catch-up here for Ukyo, who has struggled this game. That allows him to keep up pace with Big Can's EXP as well. Which, considering, again, this start, 0-3-0 on a Monkey, that's pretty big for him to still maintain that EXP spike.
It's half a level, it's no joke. As Totoro once again getting absolutely destroyed in the middle lane. This is a completely different Pangolier we saw from game number 1. And that's a risk. You repeat picks, you know, you give the opponents a chance to figure things out. Weaver has to back himself away, very cautious, very early with these time lapses. But SJ won't quite be so lucky. These stones are going to be able to easily kill him. And immediately looking for another target here. DQQ is going to be that target. D-Stones on top of him. There is a TP available on DQQ, so it'll be okay. But D-Stone's feeling pretty invincible right now, especially with that shield rune and the great healing loaders in his inventory. Like, you're not killing this guy.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to be able to pin him down. Just a bit too durable. On that Ember right now. Has a lot of burst on hand. They're just going to keep running. They're denying the triangle away from Tax. So you can't farm as comfortably. They're doing a great job suppressing that Alk now from trying to snowball too hard.
Yep, constant pressure. They know they're weak on resources on the side of iG.V in this early game, so they're just constantly throwing their bodies at them. There's not much iG.V can do to answer. Like, they don't have these big ultimates, these big kind of game-changing plays to be made, but this could be one of them. Nice start, but it's just a complete retreat, and actually the arrow into the Alchemist, who stunned himself. Oh no, Tax, he gets destroyed. SJ on the run, running back to his fountain. Can he find him? No, he cannot. D-Stones doesn't quite connect with that sleight of fist, so... Oh, Totoro, still for 2. That's cute. Can they finish it up? No, they cannot. The Weaver gets away with that time lapse, and it's just going to be SJ that falls down once again, dares to come too close to the fight, and D-Stones takes care of him with ease. That was a bit greedy from the Dazzle. Chains into arrow, into another kill for YYYY. Boshi. He's low, but they don't have the same kind of smite potential here on the side of iG.V, and in fact they can just turn it around once again. They will bring down D-Stones, but Totoro is going to die in response as well, so it's a trade. Now, arrow coming through, not going to land onto Tax. Tax might need to take this little weaveling off him, and actually it's when Howard's taken a step too far. Let's see if they can punish this one. Stuns out from the Alchemist, in comes the invisibility from the Mirana, but they have the detection already down with that sentry, and they will be able to kill off the Tusk.
They find some punches back here for iG.V. Very important to find those kills, because again, if you don't, you just stay behind pretty much the entire game. So they get some gold flowing their way, they get some good EXP going their way as well. They are still behind in a massive way. Ukyo and Totoro just currently not really having a way of playing the game at the moment. Their big spike right now on iG.V is, oddly enough, the shard on your Dazzle. Like, I think Tormentor is going to be a big one here. Just because you lack a Hex, you lack a hard lockdown. If you can get at least a 1.6 second Hex, that's more than enough to set up for a Cookie, to set up for the Unstable to come out, to pin down the Ember consistently, to pin down the Weaver when he overextends. They need some way of punishing it. It's just not there. So the shard actually has to come out here.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm really interested to see if Lonely Rock and Roll start playing down bottom, because what they could do is start to put pressure, and if they can take this all, the Dazzle being beaten on down here, they do have the mech available on the Snapfire to try and keep him alive a little bit longer. Ooh. Cookie is nice. It's the Scatter Blast as well. They'll force out the ultimate from the Weaver to get him out of there. Time lapse has been used, so perhaps a vulnerability from the Weaver now. But yeah, if they can take this tier 2 tower, then this maybe opens up the Tormentor for them. So they can get themselves 2 shards, which would be pretty insane. Like that feels like a game-winning scenario, honestly. Totoro rolling on through. Big Can on the run, trying to get away, but they have got the diffusal out. This could be big. What can they do? Wukong's is down, but they won't keep the heroes inside of it. So Wukong's not really working out. Arrow, oh my god. How did the Dazzle find that arrow?
Yeah.
These stones looking for more, and is going to find it. Pangler is going to get brought down as well. This is an absolute disaster for the time for the side of iG.V.
I mean,
so rough.
I appreciate what they tried to do on iG.V. They tried to get aggressive again. It's that same issue. You don't have the hold. You come in, you try to commit all your spells, sort of have a delay to the stun, and even chasing down Terrorblade doesn't feel comfy for them. So they just can't control to take these fights, and as you said, they'll take the tier 2. They could have control over that Tormentor now as it spawns. They can take those great shards upgrades for themselves, deny it from iG.V, who desperately needs something like the Hex up on Dazzle.
Yeah, this is
and they'll
insane.
just get to work.
This is insane. Look at it go down. My goodness. Disappears in an instant, and now Boshi, he's got himself that extra little fart on the lead. Oh, arrow coming through, not gonna land. Are they going for this high ground right now? I mean, they have quite a long time left on the Metamorphosis still. No, they don't. It's about to run out, but they're gonna make the best use of it they can and kill off DQQ at the very least. And now they can. Goes back towards non-demonic form. And that's probably the cue for them to get themselves away. They're chasing on the side of iG.V, but I'm not sure they want to find anything. Pretty low on resources, though. Maybe they can catch themselves a Weaver. Let's see. Weaver getting low. Doesn't have any mana left. And if that Diffusal Blade comes through onto him, he does actually... Oh, they hand him the Fairy, but it's the Lotus, but it's not quite... Isn't the Fairy? No way. No way does he live through this. He gets out. Holy. I believe they gave him the Lotus somehow. I don't know who had it, but that burst heal was crazy. And now they can turn around. Oh my god, there's got to be soul destroying for the side of iG.V. It feels so bad. They do kill a Boshi. Okay, nice cookie. On to 2. The 2 cores locked down. Have they bitten off more than they could chew? 3 heroes dead. Can they make it 4? Why? TPing out. They're not going to have the damage to stop this. So it's 4 heroes dead though. Oh, they kind of got baited a little bit by the fact that Weaver survived. They wanted to make the Poggy Woggy turnaround play, but yeah, baiting them a bit too hard.
They just overextend quite a fair bit. iG.V finding some good control in that fight. And you can still see how much of a struggle it is for iG.V to take these engagements. Again, just the hard lockdown, when it does connect, it feels pretty good, but you have a lot of opportunities on the side of LRNR to just dodge out. They still are in the lead, but their momentum cut off for a moment. Ukiyo is going to be able to find a good amount of fruits on hand, so he has a greater healing Lotus ready to go. You still have superior vision coming out here from LRNR. Just look at that vision. It's super aggressive. It's watching the triangle, watching that bot offline, watching the mid lane as well. You can still kind of sneak around, but iG.V, they've got room to grow. Now Tax is working on to just getting his full AC, and the durability boost up against the Terrorblade and Weaver is going to feel pretty nice. You've got the BKB up and running, Ukiyo working on to his Echo Saber now, and you're working towards the Ags for Totoro. So you do have some great item timings to still meet on iG.V for LRNR. It's just a matter of, not giving these openings out. Because, again, with that kind of fight back, with that kind of back and forth coming out for the side of iG.V, it does equalize them in terms of their levels as well. Like, you're not lagging too far behind now on iG.V with those big bounce backs on those kills.
Yeah, there's a chance now, for sure. But they did get both shards on the side of Lonely Rock and Roll, so Winhound's going to be able to pick up his shard from the other Tormentor. It's a pretty big deal. It's just a casual, 2,800 gold, basically, just from Tormentors.
Yeah.
Pretty insane.
It's a big chunk. And, I mean, you have such complete control right now coming out from LRNR. Like, all your tier 1s still stand. iG.V aren't able to use that teamfight win for an objective. They'll try to smoke up here, though.
Yeah, they're looking for something. iG.V setting the trap, and they see the Weaver. They bait him beautifully with the Watcher. However, do they have the lockdown for him? They don't seem to, and this is getting very awkward very quickly. Totoro doing a bit of exploring of the new map, but not in a good way, as he's now going to get arrowed up and probably taken down. That's a dead Pangolier. That didn't work at all, and now SJ is also going to pay the price. I'll move over towards DQQ in the tree lines. Way too much damage for him to get out. They will escape, at the very least, on the Dazzle. But, man, that went bad.
That was a really awkward fight. I think we were seeing Tax trying to run up, which is unstable, but he was blocked off. So you couldn't get that follow-up stun from the roll. And once that misses, you have nothing else. You can't take that fight. Roshan just melting to the side of LRNR. As we see a little bit of a pause over perhaps some lag. You've got the cheese on hand now as well. Do we have any greater healing lotuses? Or no? Unfortunate. No block of cheese with a permanent barrier. That is silly.
It's not the greater healing lotuses. I think it's like the greater, like the really big ones.
It's healing lotus. It's great healing lotus and greater. Greater is the highest tier, if I recall right.
Oh yeah, okay, yep. Yeah, you need that higher tier one. So it takes a long time to get that many lotuses. The shield is very strong, but yeah, it takes a long time to ferment.
Yeah, maybe just hold on to the cheese until then. I mean, you lose out in that first heal, but man, that barrier, it's so good. Who knew cheese was such a fortifying food item? Always have your cheese, kids.
Yep, eat your cheese.
Gives you a nice barrier.
Nothing else, just cheese. That's all you need in your diet.
Just cheese. Oh, that's big. Full AC. Components being taken out, delayed by 2 minutes, and he would have had the gold for the Hyperstone here as well.
Yeah, he really would. That's rough. So, I mean, that could be a big item. If it comes to defending high ground or defending towers, like that AC can make all the difference. It's like the best sieging and anti-sieging item in the game.
And you tie that in with your acid spray coming out. Yeah. Minus armor stacking up helps to soften up that TV just a little bit more, make him just that more manageable. Makes the Monkey King feel more impactful as well, but not going to have it for a while. With EA just up and running, just going to go for the objective play here on the side of LRNR. And iG.V just farming where they can, scrambling around the map to get something going.
Yeah, a lot of map to scramble around, but yeah, it's a slow process, and they will find Tax now, actually. So, yeah, he's probably going to be in some trouble. Actually, did he mess up the chains? Oh, no, he's saving the chains. Okay. Yep, now he used the Chemical Rage, and they can chain him up, and he's got no Dispel for it, so it will be an easy-peasy kill. Y takes it once again, as this Weaver is just absolutely owning this game. Gleipnir, Dragonlance, and going in for the MKB now as well. This hero is just out of control.
Yeah, it's just been allowed to take way too much, and again, maybe it's coming down to the supports a little bit more. You just don't have control. Like, you didn't have control in lane. You don't have control in these fights to just instantly lock in either the Weaver or the Ember. And even when you do get this good blink roll in, the follow through is just so hard to pull off. Right? Like, you don't have anything like the blink up on Tax, so it's not like he can just jump in with the unstable cooking up. You don't have the shard up and running at all on SJ. They don't have access to their Tormentors all too well. They're going to need to wait a long time for the next Tormentors to be up as well.
Yep.
So, I don't know, like, maybe at this point you just kind of cop it, buy the shard yourself on SJ if you can. Try to play with that Hex, because it just buys you just barely enough time to get something done. And that's all you need, because these heroes can still die. We've seen it come out from iG.V. This lead is not insurmountable just yet.
Yeah.
It's still somewhat playable.
Yeah, it's playable. Exactly. That's why they haven't GG'd out just yet. Not as early as last game, that's for sure. But these guys are holding on a little bit longer. I just want to see if they can find any opening at all. We'll see.
It's feeling tough, like, because you've lost all your outer towers, dipping into Wing tag.
Yeah, just a bit of pressure onto Monkey. Actually, a lot more than that. They have got the Grave, though, to help out Yukio. He kind of needs to get off the Wukongs if he wants to stand a chance of surviving through this right now. He will be able to... Oh, he dodges with the tree. He's going to stay alive. Yukio lives and he'll get 2 kills. Oh, no. The aggression does not pay off from the side of Lonely Rock and Roll. That was pretty bad.
And that is massive defeat away. Again, every kill counts. You bounce back pretty nicely from these kills. You stay in the game. This is your... It's pretty much your only comeback mechanic, as creep scaling's kind of been taken off. Neutral scale up, harder to clear out fast. So you need these kills. And even just a support plus 1 core is more than enough. Tax is in danger here, though.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I'm not quite sure why he's in this deep with his team not behind him, but it is what it is, I suppose.
I mean, he's trying to find space to farm, but he's taking really risky positions. Again, tier 1 still stands. Map control here for LRNR is still perfect. There's nothing that stops him. So they come in, they punish, they undo a lot of progress that iG.V just found, and they can just take control. They're trying to get pickoffs 1v1 here.
Yeah, they are looking over towards the Pangolier. Pango trying to play his way out of this one. A swashbuckle comes in, but Totoro's going to go down. Damn. Well, that was a nice little moment for iG.V, but then they just kind of feed it away, trying to play the whole map very, very greedily. I'm not sure how else they could have played it, though. I don't know, probably under their vision would have made sense. Just play slower. Don't get as much out of the map, but stay alive a little bit longer. Probably would have been good.
Yeah. High ground begins in earnest. Aegis does expire at least to... Oh, you don't have too much to worry about. It did expire earlier on. It's still a hard fight to take. I don't know. Maybe with a good roll, you can find the angle, but objectives just melt way too fast.
Yeah, this might be the beginning of the end for iG.V. I mean, that Aegis is gone, so maybe that'll back themselves away, but they definitely get themselves that barracks, and that is a big deal. I know, as you keep talking about, getting those kills is now seeming like a very, very difficult proposition. Who do you kill on the side of LRNR?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be happy even with support kills at this point. It just helps you bounce back. So you wouldn't mind too much. Why has been a consistent target, but he's under vision. Just backs off as the smoke breaks. iG.V. They're actually going double armor on Ralk. Like, he's actually going for the Shivas, which I don't mind. Again, it's mainly physical coming out here from the side of LRNR. So if Tax can survive longer, gets more value from the Radiance, gets to try to, you know, regen back up with his Chemical Rage more, and dish some damage for the team. But with this deficit, it's hard to see the angle in for iG.V. Like, LRNR are just in complete control of the map. I do appreciate the discipline, though. Again, not calling GG early, understanding that comeback is pretty strong if you can find those kills, and that they still have timings. Like, the shard for SJ is only 20 golds away. He'll just buy it out. Even though they have the Tormentor there, they don't have map control to feel confident in taking it. So, yeah, just invest, buy the shard, get that Poison Touch hex going.
Yeah, so I think they will take it, and this guarantees that a core is going to get the shard, which is actually more important. I mean, actually, the Snapfire could get it as well, but... Oh, they actually catch them out on the side here. They want to fight around this, and this is a really, really good time to look for this fight. The Tormentor's on half HP, and they are low from it as well, so they're going to be able to steal it on the side of the Radiant. Very nicely done. The Tormentor steal, something I think we're going to be seeing a lot of in the future, and yeah, that's very big.
Damn, the RNG to get that on your TV as well. Not onto, I believe, who else lacked it? Why? So it's big. You've got the Demon Seal ready to go. You can just siege 2 big heroes down. They'll try up top.
Weaver. Yeah, the chain's done. Is it there? Oh, they don't have detection. Unreal. Yeah, 3 cores go for a gank. Sounds like the start of a joke, but kind of was in this case. Why? Just taunting them now. Meanwhile, bottom barracks being absolutely annihilated by Big Can. Big Can, the big man, Skadi, MKB, so much damage coming out from him. They're even going to pop the Wukong, just try and keep Tax alive here. This Wukong's just going to do nothing. It's not even on the objective, so just spinning in circles on the Monkey King. Not much else he could do, to be honest, as I'll come for the final lane of barracks here. And there might be a GG coming out pretty shortly from iG.V. There it is. The GG's a pop. Nothing more they could do for this one. They finally ran out of steam. And game number 2 will be taken by LRNR, which means we're going to a game 3. You love to see it.
Yeah. Now they stay alive. They